Alabama quarterback Bryce Young might end up the #1 pick still, but he's getting peppered with questions about his size.
Bryce Young's size.
So talking about a $30 million investment on his rookie
Bryce
contract?
Young is the best quarterback in America.
I've always been someone who's been, labeled as not the prototype. And for me, it's always been about, not really proving them wrong, but proving to myself what I can accomplish.
Bryce Young.
From 40, on the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
Could be a separated shoulder, might just be a bruise.
Bryce Young is going in the tent.
The highest paid college quarterback.
You guys made $1 million already?
I've always pushed myself to work the hardest.
Really about belief in yourself, and it's about belief in your preparation and your abilities, and not allowing people to write your story.
So this is when you first started the junior All-American, you said, or junior?
Yeah, junior All-American, that's in Glendora.
My family is a big reason that I'm the person that I am. They are someone that has been there for me and been able to support me through thick and thin.
We waited 6 years before we had him, so we're ready. We're ready to have a little one. We're excited to have a little one. It was great. We wanted to add to our family.
The moment he was born, I just remember this feeling of joy and so much responsibility. It's just a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of laughs, a lot of teasing, a lot of competition. It's crazy that the school has 3 Heisman Trophy winners.
That is amazing.
Right when you start to feel special. I remember my first memories of football, just playing YMCA, just playing flag football with friends, running around.
First, you start off as a running back.
Everybody gets a chance to run the ball. Everybody gets a chance to block.
Yeah, run that way.
Yeah, so other kids, you would get the ball, and either they would stop, look around, wave. This kid gets the ball.
And he knew what to do.
And he knew what to do. Because it wasn't just like a kid who kind of haphazardly found his way into the end zone. No, it was targeted. He knew exactly where he was going. He was cutting, he was stopping.
He knew how to dodge people.
He knew how to dodge people. Some of these kids were almost as if they were forced to go there. It was like he was meant to be there.
Bryce was always very low-key, very humble, very modest, soft-spoken, but at the same time commanded that room. Who he is, what you see publicly, is who he really is. Watching him command the huddle and command his team, and to see his personality translate from the classroom on the football field. As an 8th grader playing with juniors, seniors in high school, that was amazing to see.
First time I ever saw you was in Glendale. He was the Seahawks. The ball was tapped over your head almost every single time. You're one-handed, and you come in one-handed over here, picking up, rolling. It was uncanny how you completed every ball, just moving around like the creator that you are, creating time and space. And it was the same we saw from Game 1 varsity through, Cathedral, through modern day.
Bro,
I was there.
Arcade, bro.
So much all the time.
Elevated my game for sure. 8th grade, bro, I wasn't ready to catch them fastballs. He'd throw the 100 miles per hour slants.
He done ripped gloves, all that.
You spoiled, in a sense.
We know the physical part, yeah, you can throw the ball, all that. But you can call your own plays, you know what I'm saying? You can read a blitz, you can read a coverage. You can tell the receiver on the other side who's probably not in the play to do something just to get into the play because you know it's going to be there.
You for sure poised, though.
Very poised.
You be calm. I'd be like, you a little too calm.
He never yelled at me. I don't know. He yelled at you?
Nah, he never yelled
Never yelled at me.
He sent me with no, you good, come on, next one. But never
Never.
What are you doing?
Why you don't be yelling at? Why you ain't never yelling?
I'm gonna mess up, everyone gonna mess up. We all to mess up. It's I got respect for it. We didn't put the time in together. We know what it is. We're still trying to get the same thing. I don't look at it as oh, it's your fault. I'm gonna get passionate, but it's never no anger. Nobody out there I woke up today and wanted to run the wrong route. I want to grab the ball. That's not
Tua leaves for the NFL. You bring in another quarterback in Bryce Young.
We're certainly going to focus on his development, as a player.
Everyone who comes to play football at Alabama, they come because they want to be the best. They want to push themselves to be the best. They're chasing greatness. That's what, we pride ourselves in, and every coach will tell you that when they're recruiting you. Every player will tell you that. Luckily, I had amazing teammates, coaches, a lot of people that made that transition a lot easier for me, that welcomed me, invited me, and allowed me to grow alongside of them. You can't feel entitled to that leadership role. You have to earn it. First and foremost, I had to lead by example. I had to prove to everyone that I deserved it. It gives you that chance, it gives you that opportunity to go out on the field, but then it's up to you to take advantage of it.
To this year's winner, you're about to become a member of the most elite athletic fraternity in the world. And your name will forever be associated with the legacy of being a Heisman Trophy winner. It's time for history to be made. The winner of the 2021 Heisman Memorial Trophy is
Bryce Young.
Winning a Heisman, it's surreal. As a little kid, it's like the dream. I'm super blessed to say that I've accomplished that. But I feel like it's really a reflection of those who are around me, all those that helped me on the field, off the field. It wasn't just me who won that award. I'm not the reason I won that award. I'm forever grateful for the people around me that made that possible.
Bryce was one of the last elite five-star type player that made a decision on his college that NIL had nothing to do with it.
Got to college before NIL was a thing, even before it was kind of proposed. I never thought that would really happen.
College athletes have been able to profit from their name, image, and likeness, NIL for short. Making money from jersey sales and endorsement deals is a way for players to share in the massively lucrative world of college athletics.
Eddie George. I'm the head coach at Tennessee State University. I see firsthand what our athletes go through, especially at HBCUs. The majority of these kids are coming from a background where they don't have a strong family structure or they're not financially fit.
The thought of someone who has to wait 3 to 4 years to potentially get some sort of money to help put loved ones and family and people who need it in better situations, I don't think it's right to deprive people of that opportunity.
Back then, in the 90s, I wasn't even thinking about name, image, and likeness. I had no idea about the marketing side of it.
Hello and welcome courtside. Roz Goldon-Woode, Anne-Marie Anderson, Ashley.
Social media allowed athletes to recognize they could be the platform. Before that, we really only spoke to press conferences or an interview post-game. Otherwise, the program and our coach spoke for us. That was the awakening of voice and the power of audience. I am seeing a shift in student athletes who recognize the power of their name, image, and likeness. Through NIL, you get exposure to building your team much earlier.
And she's making history as the first high school athlete to sign a name, image, and likeness deal with the Jordan brand.
My goal was to make people want to watch.
Will it change the way they see the world? Will they get taken advantage of earlier? Will it be too hard for 16-year-olds to handle?
There is a pair of sisters who have become the first high school athletes to sign name, image, likeness deals with Nike.
30 years ago, this would definitely not be happening for a woman, especially.
Hello, guys. Today I'm mic'd up. It's your girl, Dominique. The fact that we can market ourselves and prepare ourselves for the future, and even after we're done playing, is huge. I love including my teammates in the videos and asking them questions and having them a part of deals, and to me, that's fun.
Some athletes were beginning to challenge the old way of things that were happening. Say, hey, how can we take advantage of our name, image, and likeness?
We started it completely kind of unprepared for the magnitude of what NIL is. And now he's one of the most sought after NIL clients, like that.
Everyone was calling me professional, and I messed up the first line.
Make it more about who you are as a player, as a person, and then the brands and all that stuff will follow.
I'm still blown away on this Bryce Young. Like, you guys made $1 million already?
That's when the whole floodgates opened up.
Did you ever think in your career we would be talking about the highest paid college quarterback?
No, not legally.
Even before NIL was approved and there was legislation around it, the conversation itself was polarizing.
This will become the new free market system. What are you worth? Whatever a booster is willing to pay to get you to this school.
Once it was passed, there were a lot of people who would say, it's the wild, wild west. I don't know what's gonna happen.
The money can't be an inducement to recruit a player to a specific school. It can't be tied to their play on the field. And the athlete must do something in exchange for the money.
What you were supposed to do was capitalize off your name, image, and likeness and monetize that somehow, some way outside of the football program. What you weren't supposed to do is essentially blackmail programs into giving you more money.
There's schools that have no shot to recruit certain high school players because they're going to go to where they're paid the most.
In the locker room, it does create a divide. Certain players are getting a certain amount of money. It creates jealousy, it creates tension, it creates envy, it creates greed. At some point, they're going to have to understand that's how the world works. So there's a great teaching moment within all of this.
The story became less about Bryce and NIL and more about him as a young man, as a player, as an athlete.
I'm not going to do anything business-wise that takes away from me on the field, and everyone on my team knows that.
He's a superstar in this NIL era, but he continues to work on his craft.
I'm extremely grateful for what it's done for me, for my family, for all that's done throughout, for all athletes.
In frigid Indianapolis, two Southern neighbors battle for the ultimate prize in college football.
Welcome to the 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship.
My first touchdown of this championship game, and Georgia claims its first lead. Touchdown on the run. He found Bennett launching. Mitchell caught it. Touchdown, Georgia. You need 10. Play clock at 4. From the pocket, launching downfield, underthrown and intercepted. Keely Ray has an escort down the sidelines. All the way to the end zone, and Georgia is going to conquer the Crimson Tide. National champions.
I hate it that having such a great season, accomplishing so much, overcoming so much as a team, that we didn't finish the fourth quarter better than we did.
You're, what, half a quarter away from winning another national championship, and your star quarterback is talking about it. You were a failure. They are angry about what happened in Indy. That's the expectation. It really is to finish what they didn't do last year.
This is going to potentially be the greatest college football team of all time.
Rice taking a shot. It's Alabama survives at home. The kick heard round the state of Tennessee and all of college football.
There was a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. I think it wasn't always the easiest road, but we always fought. You always push through it when times are tough. That's something I'm extremely proud of and happy to be a part of.
Bama's got to get a stop or their playoff hopes are over.
These boys are no longer amateurs now. It's too much individuality, man. These boys are worried about looking good. Is your NIL deal that important? You ain't really too engaged.
There's not an opportunity down the stretch for Alabama to compensate for this loss. I think Alabama's done.
This team didn't give up on themselves. They didn't give up on each other. Kept fighting and won some tough games to finish the season.
Young looking end zone. Wide open touchdown.
They need chaos to win their division. They need absolute chaos.
The chaos theory, this is the kind of things that would have to happen. Alabama's got to win this one. Now buys himself some time. He's going to head to the sticks himself and try. Wants to throw back to McClellan. Got it to him. And he's got it. Touchdown, Alabama. He's looking for gas. Moore, and to the end zone, and got it.
Losing 2 games by 4 points on the last play of the game in tough environment in the SEC on the road against top 10 teams are not bad losses.
Where's Alabama? Where's Alabama?
They lost to the 2 biggest games that they had.
Alabama got screwed over.
We had a goal to win a national championship, and obviously we failed in that. That's something that, I have to live with. That hurts, but, all I can do now is take that feeling and use it to push me.
His challenges are going to be to not be so hard on yourself. As a perfectionist, be okay with, I did my best, I gave everything I had, and the outcome's the outcome. Being able to enjoy yourself after that. I think if you talk to any great player and their family around them, ask what they're like after they lose. Ask those family members, how fun is it? I don't think it's unique to him. And that's going to come with time.
Who would have ever believed we'd be back in this chapel as you start to embrace this next chapter of your life? One of the things that I admire about you, and I still admire about you, is the way you pay attention to people. It didn't matter if it was another football player or a kid you knew his name. You would just spend that time with them. And I noticed it again, Bryce, when you came for Heisman Day, and a little kid would come up to you and want your autograph, and you would turn for each one, take that time, and at that moment, that young person was the most important person in your life. It's never about Bryce Young. It's about how you view the world.
As a teacher, the greatest gift of teaching is seeing your kids thrive. Our school is so proud of him. My students now, they're always asking me, hey, which seat was Bryce's seat? I want to sit there. And for me to be able to just pop on one of his interviews and, hey, look at Bryce talk about hard work.
What's up, y'all? This is Bryce. Remember, I was in the same spot you were in. It's important that you guys keep studying, keep working, keep grinding this to go. And keep my guy, Mr. Hussein.
I've always been someone who's been, labeled as not the prototype.
You seem to be very concerned about Bryce Young's size.
The biggest question, of course, surrounding Bryce Young, his size.
Players in the NFL defense are so big and fast and strong. If you are really slight, you can get pounded.
And for me, it's always been about, not really proving them wrong, but proving to myself what I can accomplish.
He said this morning, quote, I've been this size respectfully my whole life. I know who I am.
I'm confident in my abilities. I know what I can do.
His size has always been his size. And remember, he played up.
Yeah.
So he was always playing up against bigger guys.
I think for him, it was like he felt confident, like, I can do this. Like,
exactly.
What's your problem? Like, I've been doing this for a long time.
The things you've done and accomplished, your size has meant nothing at all, zero. And I know you don't even think about it. It's not even on your mind. You just do you.
It's the 89th All-State Sugar Bowl, where players left and right are deciding to skip bowl games. The best players, not only on the field today, but in the country, are playing. The Heisman winner from a year ago, Bryce Young, potentially the top pick in the NFL draft.
We wanted to finish off the season on a high note in the bowl game.
It didn't feel right for him to leave his guys until the job was done, until the season was done.
It was great for that momentum to help, boost the team for next year. I'm always going to be a fan of Alabama football.
They snap it with 15 seconds. Young to the end zone, and a touchdown. Burton took it away.
There's a sense that I get from him that he loves the game of football. It's just not about being a celebrity. He's able to win a Heisman, be in commercials, but still be selfless for his team.
And in his final game as a member of the Crimson Tide, he put on a show. 5 touchdown passes. Next stop, National Football League.
He played in the bowl game when he didn't have to. To be quite honest with you, he might have solidified himself as the #1 pick overall because of that game.
I was just blessed to have the opportunity that I did to play today, and I'm grateful for the guys I have.
Well, you may be leaving your college career as the #1 ranked quarterback on NFL draft boards. What's it taken for you to get from that point to now?
Going to a new team and being
you know, you're going to be a quarterback, so now you're going to be considered like a leader. Yeah, but you're so young, so you're going into a team that's already probably, like we're grown men now, you know what I'm saying? Like now they have to listen to you. So you can't even rent a car yet, you know what I'm saying? You might have a 9-year vet on your team. He got to listen to you, you know what I'm saying?
I don't feel like I'm entitled to anything. Right now, I'm in the pre-draft process. I'm getting ready for the combine. I think each step gets grander and grander. You know, there's more on the line. The stakes keep getting higher, but it feels natural.
Any team that gets Bryce Young is not only going to get a leader, but they're going to get a guy who is prepared for anything, any challenge that the NFL throws his way.
And it feels like it's the next step for me. It's the right transition. So again, I'm excited for it.
All signs point to Bryce Young of Alabama being the #1 overall pick.
And with the #1 pick, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young.
The star quarterback officially introduced by the Panthers today, signaling the start of a new era.
It's a long time coming.
Fans are absolutely bursting at the seams with excitement, trying to get their first look at this brand new quarterback for the
Very happy we've got Bryce Young. He's definitely a stud.
Where he is really wowing these coaches is when they get him in the classroom and on the board, man.
It's great to be back.
I'm excited to work to try to prove myself and really earn that respect from the team.